No, I got 2 murders hanging over my head. Unless I give the cops a killer by tomorrow morning, I'm going to jail. Now, who killed Coretta?
I don't know.
It was because of them pictures she was killed, or wasn't it?
I don't know.
Your boyfriend, Frank Green, killed her to bring you them pictures, didn't he?
Of course not.
Yeah, well, you can tell it to the police, because I ain't taking her.
Check it out. Run that one back. Devil in the Blue Dress is a murder mystery hood noir. Somewhat a first of its kind, being a noir film centric to the black community. Did you know noir is French for black? Anyway, let's solve this one together and get to the bottom of who this devil in a blue dress is and what's the meaning behind the movie's title, plus the film's message. Check it out. Hey yo, if you're new to the channel, like and subscribe to become a hood figure. That way you can recommend what movies I should do next. But for now, check it out. What's it about? Devil in a Blue Dress is about an unemployed vet who becomes a private detective. Low on cash, Easy Ezekiel Rawlins is hired to find a woman named Daphne. In doing so, we witness the lengths one would go through to conceal their true selves, the fear of ostracization and the entanglement of lives weaved by lies. You could say Devil in a Blue Dress is a metaphor for someone coordinating the color of their outfits to match their feelings. This is definitely a mystery involving more questions than answers, of a woman burdened with the inequities of her complexion trying to do what's right for love. Check it out. Alright, let's follow the clues and figure out who these characters are. Ezekiel Easy Rawlins is a World War II veteran from Houston, Texas, 5th Ward. What up to the ghetto boys out there? After the war, he's now settled in Watts, Los Angeles. He's in need of work. He desperately accepts a job from a guy his friend Joppy knows. In doing so, Easy slowly transforms from a day laborer into a private detective, trying to figure out who this Daphne lady is and why everyone is looking for her, and what secrets is she hiding. Mouse? Mouse is my favorite character. His real name is Raymond Alexander, a true gangster and a gentleman. Mouse is the exact type of friend you need when you're in a jam. Just like most people are afraid of a little mouse, when they see him, the same applies. I mean, he's small, but he basically strikes fear in people. He may be illiterate and can't read a book, but he can read people rather well. And for a shooter, he's kind of clever. Albright DeWitt is who Joppy introduces Easy to for work. DeWitt's presence is authoritative, so to us he seems like a cop, but he ain't. Albright is just a hired thug for Terrell. Who is Terrell? Matthew Terrell? Matthew Terrell is a politician running for mayor against Todd Carter. Terrell is one of those people who can't move within 1,000 feet of a school or playground. Think about it. Aside from that, he has plans of forcing Todd Carter out the mayoral race that involves Daphne, Todd Carter's girlfriend, play fiance. Who is Todd Carter? Todd Carter is the incumbent mayor. Basically, he's running for re-election against Matthew Terrell. To win against Terrell, Todd Carter must protect his most valuable asset, being his political influence and his family reputation. To do so, he must distance himself from the woman he loves, who, although is fair-skinned and is also a Creole mulatto woman, Daphne Monet is our devil in a blue dress. As a woman, she's torn between two worlds, being both black and white. Often she feels rejection from both ends. Because of the scandal, she's ostracized by Todd Carter's family, with them offering her $30,000 to step away. To get by, she's been acting like a master manipulator, but that makes her unable to trust no one. Check it out. What I see? Devil in a Blue Dress is a tale covering political scandals, pedophilia, and the use of racial ambiguity. It's the summer of 1947, post-World War II, after the second great migration of blacks from the South going east and westward. Denzel Washington is doing his tall, dark, and handsome thing here as Easy Rawlins, getting caught up in the mix trying to track down a dame named Daphne, who, although maybe a devil in a blue dress, is not even the antagonist of the film. Matthew Terrell is. Not only is he villainous and perverse in character, he's also the catalyst for all of this. It's him who threatened to expose Daphne's mixed lineage to the press. Before Matthew Terrell chose to apply the pressure on Todd Carter's campaign to the public, Carter's fiance was just some white woman with a little bit of flavor. If Matthew hadn't bothered Daphne and Todd, she wouldn't have sought out the leverage against Matthew to assure her safety and to protect her relationship. But check it out. The main theme of this film seems to be the role race plays. The reason why Easy was looking for a job in the first place was related to the ambiguity of race. But it's even deeper with Daphne. As a mulatto, she could play both sides of the fence. But for comfort and to advance in the world, she falls for a member of the dominant society being Todd Carter. Yet, when exposed, she retreated back to the hood. This is something Daphne is consciously aware of. She knows that in part, due to segregation, she's safe in the black community. Yet, a black swan outside of it. The political scandal would have been the interracial marriage of Daphne and Todd, because prior to 1967, interracial dating was illegal. Damn. In addition to Matthew Terrell's fetish being exposed, it would have been a career-ending event leading to pedo charges, you know? So to catch you up, what I see is all three, DeWitt, Terrell, and Carter, have offered easy money to find Daphne. And what's been keeping her concealed is the black community, which is why all three had to outsource someone black like Easy. But what Easy's trying to figure out is, why did Daphne flee initially? Who is Frank Green? Who is DeWitt working for? Why did Todd Carter concede as mayor against Matthew Terrell? Why is Terrell looking for Daphne? And why are people that's connected to Daphne dying? And just for the record, the phrase devil in a blue dress originated in the 1920s. It epitomizes the beautiful young woman you meet in the speakeasy, basically like the beautiful chick that you meet in the bar that steals your heart. Originally, that's what a devil in a blue dress was, man. A heart-stealing dame. Oh, pretty bitch. Check it out. I heard you can learn a lot from a fool, even more from the devil. Here's the lessons from Devil in the Blue Dress. Lesson. If someone tells you it's nothing to worry about, that means it's something to worry about. They just don't want you thinking about it.
It depends what kind of job it is.
Lesson. Sometimes you can try as hard as you want not to get caught up in the mix of things, but once you caught in the mix, the only thing that matters is your position on top or the bottom. Lesson. Death is always sad, but kill a white man and somebody gotta go to jail. Lesson. Just because you're friends to them, don't mean they'll be friends to you. Choose wisely on who you call your friend. Lesson. Beware. Love can have you blinded from reality. Look at Daphne, unable to see the reality in front of her. But hey, you live and you learn.
She was in love and couldn't see for dreaming. Any better than the rest of us, I guess.
Check it out. When you see it, the film noir genre began in the 1940s, and it usually explores political or social issues. Typically, noir films aren't about supporting the established order, meaning when you're watching a noir film, it ain't about supporting the establishment.
The game of cops and niggas kept up outside the station, but I hardly even noticed.
But rather critiquing it, which may be why we see the cops being corrupt and politicians like Matthew Terrell's extracurricular activities with young men getting highlighted without offering a solution. Because noir films aren't about solution. It's just about focusing on what the problem is. The same applies to the theme of racial inequities. Accordingly, though, being a noir film, Daphne is without a doubt our female fatale. Not in the sense that she'll kill you, but how she's likely to get you killed as she's trying to achieve her hidden agenda while using her feminine wiles. Y'all know what feminine wiles are: beauty, charm, and sex appeal. But what makes Daphne so intriguing is how she exploits her genetic traits. As a fair-skinned mulatto, she's able to slip back and forth between ethnic persuasions.
See, Daphne has a predilection for the company of Negroes. She likes jazz and pig's feet and dark meat. Know what I mean?
With the only issue being her never fully being accepted in neither. That's the crux. I think that's the crux mixed race people have, having to pick which group to assimilate into in a racial society. And then once you pick a group, you get that feeling of not fully being accepted, which sucks. When you see it though, my favorite character that stole every scene that he was in was Mouse, played by Don Cheadle. In the movie, it's rumored that Easy helped Mouse kill his father, which highlights their friendship and Mouse's lack of care for life. Mouse is the foil for Easy and the counterpart to DeWitt. Don Cheadle as Mouse made this movie so much better. That's why he was my favorite character. But if I'm being objective, Easy was just as complicated as Mouse was. Look how his financial situation made him compromise his own community, making him more of a passive informant than a private investigator at first. Also, he smashed Coretta while her husband was passed out. That's kind of wild. Something that didn't translate too well on screen from the book was what motivated Easy. It wasn't Daphne's sex appeal, but rather his convictions of home ownership. To Easy, paying off a home was a test of manhood, establishing him as a man equal to whites in segregated Los Angeles. DeWitt, although a sad character, made an astute observation on being caught in the mix, which was the subtext of the theme and parallel Easy's knowledge and experience as the story unfolded. DeWitt and Easy was kind of parallels of each other and how both were caught in the mix. It's almost funny how noticeable everyone feels about Easy being in over his head. It comes up like 3 or 4 times in the movie. Hopefully you don't get caught up in the mix and end up in over your head. Check it out. Alright, let's wrap this up. In closing, the evidence concludes that this movie's true message is not to get caught up in the ambiguity of race. And if you do play the game with passability in order to obtain the complexion of protection, beware of the risk of ostracization. Walter Mosley, the writer of this book this film is based on, said that what motivated him to create this story was the urge to reflect the American experience within a shadowy landscape of national shame. The shame of how much race influences and separates. The shame of not considering, when we think of race, how much we forget about the interracially mixed individuals caught in the middle. Mosley being biracial as well, I wonder if Daphne was just a vicarious muse for the author. Or maybe the title is the message in itself. Like perhaps a devil in a blue dress is a beautiful lie. Like how it's a shame we dress up a sad lie, making blue the color of shame. Daphne lying to pass as Caucasian, that's devilish. The dress is the perspective. All I'm saying is perhaps the title is saying it's sad that Daphne, despite all her efforts, will never be accepted as an authentic Caucasian. When you think about it, how can you not feel empathy for the lies people tell? With racial inequality not being isolated, it wasn't just with Daphne, it also affected Easy. It's why he was fired, why he was roughed up by the police. It was basically why he couldn't find another job. Hell, it's why at the beginning, Junior, the doorman, suggests to us and to Easy, pay white women no mind. And trust me, this sound advice, but it's so hard to do. They're like natural sirens. Maybe that's the shame as well. Nonetheless, as the film progresses, it becomes evident that skin color is more than a background issue. It's the first thing that most people notice. It's a shame that it can break careers, shatter marriages, and possibly be the reason lives are ended. As always, I'm Fox. This is Check It Out. Let me know any lessons I missed in the comments. Check It Out Hood Reviews is an official black-owned business. Hitting that like is the least expensive way to show your support. As usual, as I always say, like, share, and subscribe so the big homie can survive, man. Y'all be cool. Remember to choose wisely. Watch out for them devils in blue dresses. Or I guess you ladies can flip it and be like, gentlemen in blue suits. I just want y'all to take care of yourself and make better decisions, man. I'm out of here, man. Take care. Here go them extras. Time for some extras. Yo, did y'all know according to box office, this film was a flop? I blame it on timing. But had it been a hit, we definitely probably would have got a series with Denzel and Don Cheadle. Jennifer Beals from Flashdance, that's who Daphne is. That $7,000 they split in 1947 is equivalent to $130,000 today. There's this chick called Daphne. She's a master manipulator. Her and Todd Carter, a rich guy running for mayor, had a thing going on. That thing got interrupted by Matthew Terrell, a creepy guy that's also running for mayor. Then suddenly, Daphne goes ghost, prompting Todd Carter to hire DeWitt to find her. Then DeWitt hires Easy to find Daphne, but he doesn't. Neither can trust the other, and the story unfolds, man. It's a good story. Y'all should check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Kiss your mama, hug your kids. I'm out of here.